You're not healing, you're hiding. Doom scrolling till 4 a.m. Gooning like it's therapy. Mad at the world, but doing nothing to escape it. No motion, no plan. Just vices, bitterness, and a phone full of distractions you mistake for direction. You call it self-care. It's not. You're either turning into a femcel with a superiority complex and a TikTok addiction, or an incel who thinks the world owes you something because no one's touched your meat in 8 months. You swear you're protecting your energy, but really, you're scared to give a fuck again. You had potential, a story worth living, but now you're wasting it. And here's the part that sucks. Villain arcs are tempting. Pain, loneliness, rejection. You can take it, fold, and let it harden you. Or you can do what Noah did. Heartbreak, family pressure, labeled a failure. He had every reason to fall off, every excuse to become cold, but he didn't. He didn't numb it. He faced it. And now he's here, not to brag, but to warn you. Because if you don't catch yourself now, the spark dies slow. No one will know who you could have been, because you let fate write your ending for you.
You didn't get broken, you just simply stopped trying. A lot of times when life hits us, and let's be honest, life is gonna hit all of us. We're gonna have fluctuations where we have our ups and our downs, but the reality is we all go through problems. But the problem with people who specifically check out whenever they're met with a little bit of friction or a little bit of discomfort in their lives, they will solely go towards comfort because they don't want to deal with the reality of their problems. This is why you constantly see people delve deep into hedonism like pornography, drugs, drinking like alcohol, and casual sex, or things that takes them away from the present moment. That's a weak mindset to have. It's a weak mindset to have because instead of you trying to stay locked in or trying to get yourself back on the pedal, like keeping momentum in your life, you instead succumb to whatever life throws at you. And then as a result of doing that, pain becomes your identity. Oh, I'm broken. Oh, I'm traumatized. Oh, I have PTSD. And maybe those things might be true. I'm not trying to sound insensitive and diminish what you went through in your life. We all go through shit, but it takes a certain type of individual, a certain type of person who's not a pussy to stand up and rise above that. Like the difference between you and the people who go out and achieve what they want is how they respond to certain scenarios that happen in their lives. Two people could come from the same place, have similar struggles, or maybe the exact same struggle, but one person uses that as motivation to get to where they want versus the other person who just sits there, complains like a little bitch about their situation in life. But the reality is, you're not Anakin Skywalker, you're not Obito, you're not Light Yagami, you're not Eren Yeager, you're not any anti-hero that you're trying to cosplay yourself to be. You basically just turn trauma into your entire personality, my nigga. Once you realize how insane that sounds, it's like, bro, this is what you've been doing for X amount of times due to what's been happening to you. And the thing is with my generation specifically is that we wear this as like some badge of honor, or we see this to be a flex to tell the world that we're traumatized. And then as a result of doing that and thinking that this shit's a flex, you now try to call your numbness peace. Your numbness is not peace. It's cope. You're coping to deal with the stress of reality and what you've been through. But the thing you feel to realize is that life is just life. We are gonna go through ups and downs, like I've said before. Life is not supposed to be some linear line where you experience no types of issues. And instead of seeing your struggles as a growth opportunity, you shut down and you call that shit growth. And you also tell yourself you're becoming better, but instead you're disconnected from the world. Now, if you're the type of person who has been on social media and you're in a tough spot where things in your real life is like affecting you, then maybe it might be best for you to get off the grid, focus on yourself for a bit. But the people who claim that the world is against them, it's me versus the world, you're gonna suffer the most. It's like the ones who usually try to cut people off and say that they're protecting their peace, but in reality, they're just trying to protect their ego and themselves, and they can't face the reality and the fact that they are a piece of shit. And I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but they are a piece of shit and they need to change. But because they view other people as the issue rather than themselves, they won't face the music. It's always gotta be someone else's fault rather than them. Now, granted, if your friends are pieces of shit, they're degenerates and they don't really have deep talks with you or show any actions of like trying to improve in the future, then yeah, cut those losers off. But like, if those friends have shown up for you countless times, but they're not like, you know, the most disciplined individuals entirely, talk to them about it. And if they're not serious, then let them go. But like, the people who operate in the sense of trying to cut people off because they can't acknowledge what's wrong with themselves, or they don't want to be put in a spot to have an uncomfortable conversation about how they truly are as far as like not living up up to their potential, then those people need to stop acting like they're protecting their peace. It's you trying to protect your ego. And the thing is, I kind of blame social media to an extent for this. We think that turning cold is character development when it's really not. And this is why propaganda and media is always here to tell you this person's in their villain arc, and basically they're just running along with that pain to make the story better. Take Eren Yeager, and this is spoilers for Attack on Titan if you guys have not seen the show. This is like him turning from good guy to bad guy towards the end of the series. And I remember a fuck ton of people on social media, including myself, were praising him for being this anti-hero edgelord. But it's like, looking back now in hindsight, that was very much corny behavior. I ain't gonna cap you. I know he's a fictional character, but a lot of people try to take these aspects of his personality that he displayed in the later seasons and apply to themselves. The world is cold type of mentality, so because of that, I'm gonna turn cold, when that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. You can still be a decent, welcoming, wholesome person, but also acknowledging that life is not always going to be a linear line. Because if you keep going down this path, what you're really just telling yourself is that I'm a piece of shit and I don't deserve better in my life. It is what it is, but because you believe that life happens to you and you can't do nothing about it, you put yourself in this victim mentality without even realizing it, and you're displaying this phenomenon, which I want to explain to you, and it's pretty interesting. It's called the Lucifer effect.
The Lucifer effect. It's the idea that even good people can turn evil when placed in the wrong situation. Power, pressure, isolation, they all change you. My friend Obito, he wasn't always like that. He used to be kind, hopeful, but after the tragedy he faced, being left to die, losing Rin, he broke. And someone like Madara was ready to twist that pain, feed him a new purpose, and turn him into something he wasn't. That's the Lucifer effect. You don't need to be a monster to do evil. You just need the right push at the wrong time.
Everything boils down to perception. If you believe yourself to be a piece of shit, and if you believe your environment is the reason why you are the way you are, then you're never going to change. And I hate to oversimplify it that way, but when you really perceive the world that way and you don't stress over, this villain arc to look cool or wear your trauma as a badge of honor, then you realize that a lot of these things in this world just really comes down to your personal choice and the way you perceive the world to be. But that's only if you stop romanticizing your downfall and start fighting your way back up to elevate to a level of peace of mind and to operate in a way that's healthier and conducive to your goals. And one more thing I want to dismantle or kind of shit on a little bit. I know you guys heard this saying. It goes like, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. It sounds deep, right? But in reality, the shit's stupid because it's really just an excuse and a cop-out. This saying basically implies that becoming the villain is inevitable, and instead of taking accountability and looking inward and seeing what's wrong with you internally, you outwardly look at the world and say, the world is the problem, not me. When you're just as much of a problem. No one put a to your head and told you to act the way you do or make the life choices that you continuously made to put yourself in a depressive, low vibrational state, if you will. I know it sounds very spiritual when I put it that way. No one did that to you and told you to act that way. You decided to do that. And a lot of people have this line of thinking, oh, if I live long enough, I'm gonna become the villain. What? Who made that concept? Like, seriously, who made that concept? Let me find the motherfucker who made that concept. You and you are gonna have problems. But fact of the matter is, everything boils down to a choice. You have the choice to change your life right now, but that's only if you decide to. Right after this video, especially after you like this video, which you should if you're getting value from this so far, you have the choice to change your life. But instead, you chose to fold because it got hard. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But but you can't just extrapolate the things that happen in your life and boil it down to fate, destiny. No, bullshit. It's you. It's like, bro, stop telling yourself these dumbass narratives. You're responsible for the decisions you make, how you choose to move afterwards, how you react to certain things that happen to you. Because the more you keep telling yourself these things, what happens is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We believe the things that we tell ourselves, even though it might not be true in the moment. The more we keep trying to convince ourselves that we are this type of person, we're never going to grow. Now, the moment you can realize that a lot of the choices that you make in your life comes down to a choice, the moment you can change your life. Simple as that, my guy. Now, I'm gonna leave you with this. Are you gonna sit there huddled up in a corner like a little bitch? Or are you gonna change your life? I know I wanna change my life despite what happens to me. I know every time I'm hit with a hurdle, that's an opportunity for me to grow. You should be able to pick yourself back up and know that you can change whenever you choose to, for the better, for those around you who are counting on you. You should want better for yourself. I'm gonna leave you with that. Either stay the same and deal with the pain and not change, or just grow. And if I was you, I'd choose the latter, grow. That brings me to the end of this video. Hey, if you guys found value from this, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Dream big and take action. I'm going to see you guys. Peace.